Before we start, I really want to thank you guys for coming, for being here, for making this happen. I thank God that we're here and we can have a bit of a chat.
Yes.
So, Bongi, this is a question that a lot of people are asking. How is it that you are a new business? Say you're a startup or whatever you are,
Yeah.
or you've been running for a couple of years and you're trying to get a certain client. But then your competitor has been with that client for so long, 20 years, 30 years. How do you come and replace that guy? Yeah.
That's interesting.
It is a very interesting question. And I've had a couple guys asking. I had some guy coming. He literally just started a petroleum company, and
Okay.
he wants to replace Shell. So, very big, very big move.
That man has ambitions, eh?
Some serious ones, and he's finding it very interesting. As we know it would be, because we know how the big companies are. They're able to bleed you anytime. They're able to push prices so low, below your purchase price, to a point that you just drown, right? You buy it at 15, you sell it at 20, right? They sell it at 11, even lower than you buy. And at the end of the day, you can't sell. They bleed you out. Right? A lot of businesses, I'm sure you've seen it in stores. There are times, just at random times, where they just do this special, where 10 rand off. Thing was 30, it's now going 20 for some reason. For a whole month, it's going 20. There's probably some kid down the block selling it for 25, or they're gonna bleed. They're gonna bleed him to death. It's not always that they're trying to clear it because it's expiring or whatever it is. So, what do you do, right? The reason I say this is because we are not about to have a typical YouTube conversation where I throw theories at you and whatnot, because I am currently working with a client who my competitor had been working with for 26 years.
Sure.
But I'm working with the client now. I think this is now the 4th year.
Sure.
All right? So people are asking, how is it that you come and you replace these guys? And my answer is normally that your thinking is wrong. Why do I say your thinking is wrong? You're trying to replace guys who've been there for 20 years, 30 years, all right? And can you do it? Yeah, it's possible. Let me tell you the biggest problem. If you know a girl for 30 years, you've known her for 30 years, as in you guys have been friends or whatever it is and whatnot, this is just not knowing her as, and I know that lady down the street. You know her as a friend. Probably 30 years later, you guys might probably have kids. That's probably what's happening.
Yeah.
If you guys won't be friends for that long,
There's
there's a high chance. Does your mom have any guy friends?
No.
Just your dad.
Yeah.
So there ain't been a friend who's been there for 30 years. Your mom? Nah. My mom? Nah. So if you're going to be friends with her for like 30 years, chances are you're married. What do I mean in business now? I was trying to replace these guys, and I came there. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to beat them. How do you beat them? These guys take a week to deliver. I'm going to deliver in 4 hours. So I came there. I did exactly that. They still didn't replace the other guys. Okay. These guys, their designs aren't flexible and innovative. I'll bring that. I did it. Still didn't replace them. What is going on? Right? So I'm going to be innovative and quick. Still, they keep them. They rather keep the guys who are not innovative, who take long, than take me. What is happening? It only makes sense that they should replace me. Replace them, sorry.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you?
for sure.
Yeah. I found out a very interesting realization. The reason why these guys are doing business for 20-something years is they've bought each other. The other company now owns a part of the other company.
Yeah. That is very interesting.
Profits are circulating. I'm using myself to do my work.
It's like their own value chain.
Yeah. So they own part of the company which they're paying to do the work. And I'm coming saying, yo, replace that guy. You know what I'm saying? You are literally, it's in there, right? Good example. This that we're doing is recorded, right?
Yeah.
For you to record, you got to hire a company, right? Why would I hire another company that is not mine, since mine does this? Why would I?
It wouldn't make sense.
It would, right? So the money we pay to do anything would have to come right round to circulate. So now try imagine. These guys have been together for so long that they've probably now bought so much of each other that they even are part of the decision making of the other. How are you even gonna
compete with that?
Come and compete with that? So you find out a lot of the time your thinking is completely wrong. You want to replace, basically someone's wife. You're like, yo, look, I am younger, I'm better, and well, that's how it is, right? That's how wives are replaced, unfortunately. But businesses tend to be very faithful because they think straight. Unlike a man replacing his wife, businesses are thinking straight that, look, why would I take money out to a guy trying to replace me, yet I could just keep the money in? Even if I'm paying more to myself and he's charging so less than I am, he's still losing. I'm still making a loss by paying him. It's coming to me either way. If I charge myself 100K, he comes and says I charge 10K, I'm paying more by more than 100K then in that case. If I'm going to go with him. You see? So the sooner I realize that, okay, no, the method here that I'm going about is probably wrong. I'm not supposed to replace these guys. I'm supposed to be the strength in this guy's weakness. Alright? So they're slow, I'm fast. I deliver fast service. So anytime the main company needs fast work, they'll call me. Don't replace their guys. I'm not even trying to replace them. But they'll call me. I'm never going to do the same thing they're doing. Right? Because that's not me trying to complement their inadequacies.
Yeah.
Right? Where they're adequate, don't compete with them. Okay? Where they're inadequate, don't compete with them too.
Sure.
But just complement that. Do you get what I'm saying? So you come and you're approaching this as somebody who is, say, filling out the gap. that's being left without trying to attack the other guys. Because if you try to attack them, they'll be aggressive, right?
Ish.
What I noticed was when we came with new innovations, in less than a week, they hired guys who do what we do better. We changed and tried something else. I hired somebody else who does that better. Realized, okay, all right. Let's not try to replace these guys at their own game. All right? Let's let them take their space. Right? Eventually, they're going to be asked, can you do this in a week? Then they're going to be like, no, we can't do it in a week. Right? But the mother company needs the thing in a week. But they know we are there. They'll be like, okay, why don't those guys just do it? Since you need it in a week, we take a month. So just go to those guys, they do it. Because if those guys do it, you guys meet the targets. If you meet the targets, you get more clients. You get more clients, you make more money. You make more money, you get bigger. If you get bigger, we get bigger. We own a piece of you, so the piece of you that we own also gets bigger if you guys get bigger.
Wow.
All right. Pretty cool, isn't it?
That's an interesting observation. Wow.
Oh, not just an observation. I've tried it out. And
Wow.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
And a lot of the clients that we approach, because I've always told you that my approach is I don't believe in starting small. I believe in starting big small. In other words, your small, right? And my small won't be the same. My small will be big. Then I'll grow from big going up. Nothing wrong with that, is it?
Because a lot of the times, like you're taught, as you start a business or you approach client, you start at a very minimal, target, and then from there, it takes you years to even get there, like 5-10 years, and you're taught that, But from what you're saying, it sounds like it's very, very possible to even do it within a span of a year. Get a very, very big client and, apply that principle that you just shared right now.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Like, it's like mistakes, right? I don't believe in making mistakes he made again. Why not learn his mistakes and make new mistakes myself? Imagine there's a porthole, right? He falls into it. I can't fall into it. I'd rather jump over it and tear my pants and create a new problem. And rather go back and get new pants and say I'm getting elastic pants because every time I jump they tear.
Sure.
Than falling into the portal. So I solved the problem of not falling in, but while solving it, I made a new mistake, which is tearing my pants because I had to jump. But as I jumped, they tore, right? So now I go get elastic pants. So when I jump, they don't tear. That's the kind of mistake I would rather make. You see, that's what you call starting a lot bigger than small. He's already made all the mistakes and this big. So why not start off from there? Why do I have to start from scratch? Imagine, cars have 4 wheels, right? Why don't you just wake up and say, I'm going to try 6 wheels. I'm going to just make a car with 6 wheels. Who's ever done that before? Nobody. That's innovation. I'm going to try that, see how that goes. It's probably going to work. Nobody's thought of it before. You know what? Your thinking is all wrong. Because at the end of the day, your steering wheel won't even work the same. So now you got to go through all the steps that it took to get the steering wheel to where it is today from scratch. Because now you got a whole new way of steering, right? The shape of your car is going to change. So you're going to spend the majority of your life trying to make this thing work just to find out people can't even accept it. Then what? Start from somewhere, Phones used to have buttons, now they don't have buttons. Don't start off by trying buttons and trying to see how that works and then take the buttons off, then build from there. Start off from a phone without buttons like every, company and build from there. Rather than, going from the very, 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 very bottom.
Makes
But
sense.
anyway, I hope that kind of makes sense.
Makes sense.
Hello?
Well understood.
I did. Great. So, I mean, we do have situations where big companies, they've been there, they dominate, But the first thing, like we said, that you ought to do, get in there, right? Bring your innovation, bring your speed and whatnot, right? I believe we've mentioned before that if somebody's bigger, they're heavier. If they're heavier, it's harder for them to run and maneuver. So use new and light and smoke and run around corners they can't. Faster. So there are targets you can reach that they can't. So if you bring that to a client and they don't accept that, there's high chances that they're keeping the bigger guy for a reason. Right? One of the reasons could be that they own part of the bigger guy, or that guy owns part of them, or mutual. You see what I'm saying? So when you see that, that's when you got to change your approach. Don't try to replace them. You're trying to replace the same person. You see? I hope that kind of makes sense.
Makes sense. Wow.
And Bongi, very interesting tip for a lot of entrepreneurs. Wow. Very, very interesting tip that a lot of people got to master. Because we're all trying to compete with guys who are a lot bigger and whatnot. And eventually, maybe we're not, but eventually we will. Eventually going to need to do it. And what you're going to do. All right? And a lot of these guys, they grew with their clients. They're all big together. And it's hard for you right now to find another startup to grow with. You don't really have 20 years, Bongi, to grow and be big. You got to do it now, Imagine if you try to grow with him and he fails. Now you got to find somebody else and grow with him and he fails. And try, right? Just find somebody else who's already grown and stick to him.
Yeah.
You see. So yeah, at times the traditional methods of approaching things aren't the ones that work. Because we can say, bring new products, supply faster, deliver quicker, which is true. Right? A lot of big guys are replaced like that. There are some delivery companies that are replaced because now they deliver quicker. Right? Imagine if there was an Uber that is already by your door. You don't have to wait. It's already by your door. You'd most likely change. Imagine if there was an Uber that's already by your door and half the price. You wouldn't even think about it.
I wouldn't think twice even.
You would uninstall that other app so quickly. You wouldn't want to think about it. You see?
Because human beings are built with convenience.
Convenience.
Yeah.
So now if you see yourself bringing convenience to somebody and they still don't want to pick you, and trust me, it's not about convenience. Those guys probably own the other guys. So it's a whole different jungle altogether now. You got to change your strategy.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Wow, thank you so much for that.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions on
it? Sure. Wow. No questions on my side at the moment.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
Before we close up, I'm just going to give a final tip. Final tip. I've mentioned this to a couple guys before about how you grow your business, right? Business grows through consistency, right? We normally have what we say called projections, where we say we're going to make this much this year, this much the next year, this much the next year. That's how it typically should look, right? But what it definitely shouldn't look like is it should go this, then there, then there, then there, then there, then there, then that's a bit of a mess. Because you guys have got financial plans, right? How do you plan if your finances are so erratic? It's so hard to plan certain things because you don't even know if you're going to have the money for them.
Ish.
You see. So if you have consistency, at least you can tell that I'm not sure where we're going to be, but I know for certain we're going to be above this point. So we can place our budget anywhere below here, we're good, we're safe. Right?
Yeah.
Which is what's important. That's the difference between full stack companies and freelancers. As a freelancer, you're looking for the next job. Right? I do Bongi's face makeup. I'm done with you. You pay me? Good. Where can I get the next person? He calls me? Good. I do his face. Good. She calls me? I do it. Good. Business is good. No, business is not good. Is he going to call you back again? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe you will. When will you call you? You also don't know.
Yeah.
So you don't know when your next money's coming from your next money's coming from you. You don't know when his next money's coming from him. So you're always stuck that some months you got a lot of money, some months you don't have money. Some months you have 300K, some months you have 10K. So your plans for the month where your 300K don't work in the 10 month. You know, you got 300K, you bought something which has a payment plan of 30K a month. The month you make 10, you don't have the money to pay it off.
You can't even follow up properly.
You can't. You really, really can't. And because we're always jumping from next client to next client, next client, next client, it's hard to plan. You see. But then, like what I do, a lot of the time, the client approaches me, tells me, we need this job done, right? I'm like, okay, this is going to cost you 50K, right? And the client's like, okay, how about 45? And I go, all right, we'll do 45, right? They're like, okay, fantastic. Then I ask, what do you need this for? They're like, no, we're trying to do this campaign and, increase our clientele. I'm like, how often do you want to increase your clientele? Oh, every month, right? So if you want to increase your clientele every month, why do you want to do this once? So why don't we make an arrangement where instead you pay me every month? Let's not do 45. Let's forget about 45. Why don't you just do 20? Give me 20 every single month for 5 years.
And you drop a contract.
Or drop a contract. 20K every month. Now I know I'm getting 20 every month from you. Definitely. I do it with somebody else. I do it with somebody else. I know I've got 20, I've got 30, I've got 60. I know I've got 200K coming in every month consistently. I can plan.
And now that's not like short term, that's long term.
That is long term.
So the issue now is we always think of doing, business with a particular client for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, where you don't even consider doing it on a long term. Yeah. So I think the biggest thing is sell your client, like a long-term journey for their business, because it's more beneficial for their business rather than, when you do it on a short span.
And how would you say you do that?
So, I mean, like you're saying, the whole idea is making sure that you realize that if you do a campaign for a short span of time, that campaign for theirs, as you're mentioning, it's only going to cater for it's going to benefit their business for only 2-3 months, and you're not even considering 5-6 months down the line, a year down the line. So you convince them that how can we actually ensure that we maintain this relationship so that your clientele gradually grows, and you can also show them the work that you've done with other clients. So yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.